Going over my list of ideas for Invalid Core videos, I discovered that one video, being this video, would be released on July 8th. July 8th just happens to be my birthday, so I decided to make this video about my journey in learning about the Invalid Core and my collection that formed my journey. Again, born July 8th, 1979 in Los Angeles County, California, I was born into a family of history hobbyists. My father primarily researched and reenacted the Confederate Artillery and Confederate Marine Corps. At my age of 7 years old, my father started getting me into the hobby of reenacting, and he also took our family to battle sites. 5 years into reenacting, I wanted to venture away from the direction of my family and learn the hobby for myself. While my family was Confederate, I went Union. I first started with the 150th Pennsylvania Bucktails. Not enjoying the infantry life, I found a dismounted cavalry unit, the 2nd New York, to take me in. Shortly after joining the unit, and now 12 years old, the unit promoted me to corporal. It was here that I really wanted to learn more and do more. At one of our events, there was a fundraiser raffle where I won my first Civil War relic, a Civil War bullet dug in Georgia. Loving that I now owned a piece of history, I wanted more, so I started visiting military shows and collecting more. While collecting and still reenacting, I was promoted to sergeant at the age of 15 and took charge of the unit, the 6th Pennsylvania Russia's Lancers Cavalry. Shortly after taking the unit and still collecting Civil War items, I found an item that I was unsure of. Asking around to what it was, I was told the item was a hat cord relating to the Invalid Corps. Never hearing about the Invalid Corps, I started asking who the Invalid Corps was, only to find the information was not available. I don't know why, but I tried to focus on getting the information on the Invalid Corps. While researching, I changed units in the reenacting world and joined an artillery unit. Although my uniform was artillery, my mind was on learning the Invalid Corps. During this time, I was asked by the Burbank Public Library to display my Civil War collection. It got such a great response that I was invited to set up and talk about my collection. While trying to explain the branches of service, I mentioned the Invalid Corps, to which the audience started asking questions I could not answer. I now needed to find the history of the Invalid Corps. I figured if modern books didn't have the answer, the original reports would have an answer, so I started buying up original military general orders that related to the Invalid Corps to see what I could learn. During this time, I had the opportunity to go back to school. I left California and started my college life at Portland State University in Oregon State and finished at Western Oregon State University. I had hoped to use the school systems to learn more about the Invalid Corps, but found nothing. While in school, my father gifted me an original returns document relating to the 15th Invalid Corps at Camp Douglas in Chicago, Illinois. Discovering the document had information not readily available in a history book, I started buying up all the original Invalid Corps items I could find. Holding, reading, and learning the Invalid Corps history as they wrote it, I now have a collection of over 600 original items relating to the Invalid Corps. Since 1999, my stubbornness has led me down this history trail to learn not only that this corps existed, but what they did, the conditions they were under, and their feelings while in the corps. I have the documents that knock down the hearsay and assumptions surrounding this corps and corrects the miswritings that has followed them for the last 160 years. Although my collection has made certain chapters of my life a financial burden and has stirred Civil War gatherings, discussions, and roundtables, I'm happy to speak up for these men and prove their actions with original documentation. Now living in Pennsylvania, closer to where these men served their time, I will continue to collect, display, and speak on behalf of this Corps to show their actions, show their dedication, and to help them get their due respects.